Lisha B with the all-new morning rollout, and we are back for another installment of the Detroit Culture Shifters. And this young man was brought to my attention, and after I saw what he's been doing in the Detroit area, I knew I had to bring him on. His name is Barry Jennings. You should already know who he is because he's a part of the Uprising TV Network. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm real honored to be here.
I'm excited to talk to you because one of my friends, Asia, DJ Venus, she put me onto you. And once I started doing a deep dive, I was obsessed. So let's start at the very beginning. Tell me about how you started Uprising, how you got to the name, like what was the process of why you wanted to create this network?
Okay. First off, I want to shout out Asia. Thank you so much for thinking of me when she asked for people to come on the show. But all right, so with the network, man, okay, first and foremost, it started because I was making music at one point. I was rapping at one point, and there was like a huge gap between like what the local, like there was a need for local media, local, like on the ground media, not versus like channel 2, channel 4, things like that, on the ground media. And there wasn't nobody doing it at the time. And I said, there's way too many rappers coming on the scene at the same time. All of us is not getting on. Let's be real. All of us is not getting on. But somebody needs to document what this scene looks like. And then that evolved into more than just musicians, and then evolved into, all right, maybe I could produce some shows because there's no TV networks, at least the people that look like me, that are producing these shows. So I'm like, okay, hold on. And that's what Uprising Network started.
I love that. I love that you saw a gap and decided that you were going to fill it. Because I think a lot of people will notice the gap and don't realize that they can do the work to like make it work. So when you speak of gap, what were some of the things that you wanted to highlight within the city that you felt like, you know, people like me who are outsiders, who are just coming into the city didn't necessarily know? Was that a reason of why you wanted to also use the platform?
Yes. The main goal is the trigger is that in the mainstream media, Detroit is always just looked at as destitute, as every city has its gritty areas. Of course, every city has the gritty areas, but of course, because I'm a Detroiter, I'm very hypersensitive to whenever it's highlighted in the media, they show the broken down buildings, the abandoned neighborhoods, and the crazy areas. And it's like Detroit, the sun shines here too in Detroit. Right. So when you look at the logo and you see the brown hands and the sun shining, it's like, I want to show that the sun shines here too, because you're not going to see it nowhere else in the media. It has to come from people that's actually here doing the work.
I was going to ask you about that because I noticed how I thought it was an intentional decision to add that into the logo. So I'm glad that you said that, because I do think that as someone who moved here, my idea of Detroit was skewed. Obviously, I knew the good things because obviously you hear the big things like Motown and, you know, the people who have come from Detroit, but you don't hear about what good is happening within the city. Yes. Within the city, you hear all, like you said, the destitution, the broken down families and the projects and everything. So I'm glad that you were intentional about making that happen. And you specified brown people. With this, I know that you spotlight Black and brown creatives, talents, and just the culture at arms. So what does real representation mean to you, and how do you take that responsibility into making this network?
Wow, that is a great question. What is authenticity? First and foremost, it has to be like the Detroiter. We know if you real a mile away.
Oh, like, yeah, y'all do.
We know if it's real or not. So that's the first thing. Like, it has to be from people. Like there is I feel like the bookmark was like the Detroit going into bankruptcy and how the coming back from it. Old Detroit, the recipe, so to speak, is starting to fade a little bit, and there's a new Detroit happening, and I want to keep that alive. And the only way to do that is to tell the stories from authentic Detroiters, and there's no other way around that. I won't have it no other way.
And before we deep dive into those authentic stories, I obviously know that with any business, there are ups and downs and middle ground. So what has been one of the biggest challenges trying to create independent media, especially in the climate that we're in, where independent media is being like stifled essentially? So what has been the hardest part for you to keep going on it?
Well, in the beginning, the hardest part was getting people to understand this is a community. We all need each other. Yeah. Detroit has always had this crabs in the barrel mentality where, all right, only one of us gonna make it out and we fighting to the death for it. But I never looked at it that way. I always looked like, if we all sitting in the same room together, look at the three of us in this room and we reach out and touch each other, why is it that we can't pull each other up at the same time? So what the hardest part for me, like I said, was trying to get people to understand that there was a community. When the community that you see now in Detroit did not exist when I started.
Wow.
None of these creator clubs, the 2B productions, none of that started when I was here when I started. So to see that grow, not to say that I have the hand in making that happen, but I definitely was an inspiration to a lot of it. And I hear that when I see these people in person. So the biggest thing was that, and then finances. So because of finances, I had to learn how to do everything on my own. I shoot, I write, I edit, I jump in front of the camera if I have to. I'll book the talent. I'm the executor from A to Z. So I had to learn that because of the finances, and it's like, all right, I know money talks, and if I'm getting started and I really don't have no experience under my belt, how can I get people to take me serious and show that this is a serious project I'm working on? So I had to learn all this on my own to show how serious I am.
Right.
And then that's when people started taking me a lot more serious and I saw more elevation happening.
Exactly. I think once you invest in yourself, people want to invest in you.
Yes.
But you can only do so much. And I think that the fact that you were able to understand that it's all on you and you needed to be the one that can facilitate it. I've always said that if I do have a company where I'm having employees, I want to make sure that I know every single thing that I'm asking them to do.
Yes.
Because if I'm asking them to do and I can't do it,
right,
how dare I?
Yes.
And then on top of that, I loved that you were also talking about a linear community. Because I think one of the things that I love about Issa Rae is that she says that she always tries to work horizontal and not vertical. Because you should always come with the people who are rising with you. Because you never know, that might be the next Spike Lee next to you, and you just missed out on an opportunity. So I'm glad that you not only shared that, but also I'm gonna assume shares that with the people who are a part of your network. Because your network is stacked so far. You got some good people on there. Come on now, Ask Jen.
Yeah. And like the best part about it, I didn't know any of these people to begin with. It's me hitting the ground running on my own. What you see right now is my team.
Wow.
So on projects, I bring people in. So that's one of the most things I'm proud of. I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty. So all those people that you see on screen on the network, they eventually became friends and they eventually became my peers and things like that. But none of this it's literally like I just put one seed in the ground and I just kept watering it and watering it until it bloomed. But yeah, the people the Jen that you named there, that is my star player, that's for sure. And all the people that's come through the network on camera and behind the camera for that matter, I'm really appreciative of them.
And speaking of that, what's a moment or a project through your network that's made you think, yeah, this is why I made this? This is the envisioning coming into reality. Like, what is a moment or even a project, like I said?
Ooh, I've had quite a few of those moments. I can say, I'm gonna name a few of them. So the first time was the launch of the Uprising Network. When I launched the network, it was mostly, fast forward a little bit. When I had the launch party, I had everybody like we dressed. I need a black tie event. We dressing up, and surprisingly, most of my rapper friends that is usually in rapper uniform, they came dressed, and I had more than half of the people that was at that launch party I did not know. They showed up on the strength of, oh, this is a new idea. This is something that we can get behind. So I felt like I was making it then. Then I threw another event in 2020, like 2 weeks before the world shut down.
Wow.
And people showed up. I this place it's called Career Cafe. We threw it at Career Cafe, slapped it out. I sold all of my merch. That's when I first started selling my Black Owned Operator History hoodies there. Sold out there. And that was another moment for me. Another one is when we did the second Ask Jen show, and we did it at L Club. Sold it out. And again, this all started just from an idea I had in my head.
And isn't that so incredible how like an idea that you probably second guessed a bunch of times is often turning into something that you couldn't have ever even fathomed could be possible?
I can't stop it if I wanted to right now.
Literally. And that's the beauty of knowing your purpose and walking in it and knowing that it's bigger than you and that even the things that you imagined are probably very minuscule to what the plan is going to end up being.
Yes.
Yeah. And I love that. I love this for you. Okay, so let's deep dive into the network because I'm curious of how like you decide who gets to be on the network. Okay. Obviously, you're open to anyone pitching to you, but what comes into the producer and to the director of this mindset of, okay, you get a slot on here, but why?
You got to be doing the work first.
Okay.
You have to already be doing the work so I can meet you where you are.
I love that.
And then we go from there. Because if you're not willing to put in the effort on your own, I can't help you.
Say that again. Come on now.
I can't make you drink the water after leading you there. I can't. So you have to be doing some sort of leg work before I get in the mix. And once I see you doing it, and I see the potential and I see you serious about it, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense because I'm serious too. So that's where that relationship tends to happen, when we both are passionate about what we want to do. Now, there are instances where I see somebody and I'll be like, yo, they really funny. If we put some time behind that or maybe see what happens, because of course every show isn't a success, we'll see what that looks like. So it all depends on like my intuition. A lot of the times I just go with my gut feeling, but a lot of it is people that's already doing the work.
I love that. And based off of what I've seen through not only your work as just you, but also as the owner and operator of this network, I can tell that you're really good at the idea of pivot. And like understanding when one thing doesn't work, that doesn't mean that that's necessarily a bad thing. You just have to figure out how to re-envision it. So what's that mindset for you? When do you know that you need to pivot, and is pivoting hard for you? Because it seems like you're really good at it.
That comes from a lot of my personal relationships over the years, where it's just like I have like it's so at this point in my life, I really have no problem with detaching from people, ideas, places. I have no, it's like, okay, because life goes on. Life goes on. All these ideas I may have had in the past that didn't work out, all these people I planned things with just didn't work out. It's like, okay, life goes on. What's next? Like I'm not a type of person to sit and be like, and feel bad for myself for an extended period of time. I give myself a couple days. And then after that, all right, what are we doing next?
And speaking of what's next, what is next?
What's next is I got my first docuseries on the network called Girl Meets World with Lana Ladonna. And that just
Come on.
So we spent the summer together pretty much, and I just documented her journey that she's going through a transition right now as well. And I don't want to say too much because I want people to just tune into it. But I'm very excited about it. I think it's about to be some of my best work, and it's definitely elevation for the network. It's more heavier, weighted content. It's going to be multiple episodes. It's something where I'll be like, man, at some point I'm going to be able to put this on streaming or this type of work on streaming platforms and try to generate some revenue from it.
Can't wait for a partnership between you and a streaming platform for sure.
I can't wait myself. I can't wait.
Let's manifest. What would you want it to look like? Like if you were to be able to put it on a streaming platform, let's manifest. What streaming platform are you thinking of?
I'm pretty, I don't really, that's a good question because I never thought about that. I never thought I just want to be where the people are. I don't want to be on I can't say I don't want to go to a platform that isn't well known. I mean, who wants to go somewhere where nobody's checking it out? Right. I want to go somewhere where the people, where my message is going to be heard the most. Like I don't want to get lost in the mix. I would love to be a priority. I know I got to work my way up to that. That's asking for a lot to get in the gate, but with the experience that I have, why not?
Why not? That's the question. Yeah. That's always the question. Why not?
Why not?
Take a swing.
I know I can do it too.
The worst thing they can say is no. Yeah. And then based off of the way that you operate, no ain't the final answer.
No. I don't. And honestly, there hasn't been, we just celebrated 9 years of it.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. Nobody has ever told me no.
I know that's right.
Ever. I think it's because I just know how to get my point across. I know how to approach people. I know how, of course, I've proven that I know how to do the work. Anytime I approach anybody for anything, nobody ever says no to me. And that's one thing I pat myself on the back about, because I know a lot of people that their credit is bad. So their credit outside is bad. So I know nobody has ever said no to me, and I'm proud of that.
I think it's because you're strategic. You're not just going to these people all willy-nilly. You've taken time to research them, one.
Yes.
to know how you can approach them, because a lot of people are different. You can't approach people the same way.
Oh, trust me. Yes, trust me. The management of personalities. Yeah.
And people don't understand that is one of the most crucial things when you're operating any sort of business, is how to know how to speak to people and how to get people to see the vision that only you see. Because no one's going to understand what you are manifesting more than you. So you have to figure out a way to get them to understand the assignment.
You're right.
And that's so hard to do.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Everyone thinks this thing is light work and easy. We're just putting up films and putting up shows and just cutting the camera on and thinking that's it. There's so much more that goes into it.
I wish I can really go into detail about that. I just ain't got to that point yet because I feel like I be exposing some things. But at one point, I got to tell my story too. And I'm actually at the point where it's boiling over, and I want to get to the point to where I want to just start revealing some of these things where I've hit my head 1,000 times. Where I have I've already got to the point where I don't mind sharing where I've hit my head. I do that pretty often on my Sincerely Yours series. I always talk about what's going on behind the scenes and how I'm feeling, like, honestly. Right. That's why I Sincerely Yours. But I do want to get to the point where I can get to talking about some real deal things that I've really stumbled through to get to this point.
Well, I'm excited to hear that when you have the
someday.
time. Yes, come on, book. I was gonna ask you if you were gonna do your own docuseries.
Jen had mentioned me doing a documentary once I hit 10 years next year. And it's the thing about it is
you never know.
It's hard for me to tell my own story because I'm in it.
That's
I
real.
need somebody else from the outside to help pull that together.
And maybe you can take the next year to figure out who that curator could be for you, because you never know.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
In what ways do you hope your platform and platforms to come influences or changes the narrative of Detroit, whether that's for residents, outsiders, or the younger generation?
I think that it's, my platform is... I think Detroit, outside of my platform first, I think that Detroit is already making that transition and turned around. I think that with the Uprising Network, we can still be a space where our stories are being heard. People can always come and get the real from, or whether it's the interviews, whether I go and highlight working out of different businesses, or whatever shows I decide to produce. I just want to continue elevating what that looks like, because again, it's a community of us that's doing it right now. I don't want to just say, just take a lot of the credit, but I feel like with all of us sticking together, we can all keep doing that by doing what we already been doing.
Absolutely. And for people who are trying to pitch to you, are you, first of all, are you open to pitches right now? And if so, how do people go about doing that? Because some people don't know what a pitch is or even how to go about that process.
I'm open to it for sure. It's got to be... I just need to see somebody that's really passionate right now at this point, and if we're going to do it, I just need to see the passion behind somebody, because at this point, I'm not. This is a game. This is a real thing. Yeah. Like, I can't halfway this no more.
Right.
You got to be really passionate about it.
Talk your stuff. Tell them what's up. Okay. And you already know that this is Detroit Culture Shifters, and we love to necessarily pay it forward. So before we do that, we've already talked about what's next for you. And with giving flowers where they're due, a lot of people don't typically take the time to share gratitude and just, push other people up. Clearly you do that with Uprising, so this should be easy for you. What is a person, a creator, an organizer, a community builder here in the metro area who's doing good things, who may be having not the recognition that they deserve? Who is that for you? It can be one or a few people.
Okay. All right. Well, I got one for sure. I got one for sure. Cyrus from he's just been announced as the creative director of the city of Detroit, and I've seen Cyrus work his way up. I've seen him work with some of everybody. I've seen him taking photos of everybody and put out books and everything. And for him to get that role as a creative director, I know Cyrus personally. And I'm like, I salute him, because that's a big role to have.
Creative director over the city is insane.
And he's young. I'm not even sure if Cyrus is even 30 yet. I'm not even sure.
Come on,
maybe early 30s, maybe.
Young folk really killing it, man.
Yeah. So with Cyrus, I was gonna mention my girl Amber as well, but you said the recognition. She all over the place.
Hey, come on.
She all over
Amber
the place.
is really good. So go ahead and talk about her just in case somebody living under a rock.
Amber threw me oops a few times and different opportunities. She done wore my merch and some of her promos. We done worked together a bunch of times. Amber is good people. Amber is great people. She's social in the city, by the way, and she's all over the place. She's all over the place. I'm glad to have somebody like her and phone number saved. You know, so
I know that's right
for sure.
I'm hoping one day I can meet her because like I've been to a few of like her activations that she's had, and I've never been able to like put a face to a name for real. So I just know that she's incredible.
Okay. Oh, she'll definitely come. For sure.
I'm trying to get her.
Okay.
But as we wrap up, I just wanted to share my own flowers with you. I think that someone creating a platform, as someone who has done it and continues to do it, I give you nothing but props and power because it is a hard journey that you are on. It is not an easy journey, and you choose to continue to not only uplift yourself but other people. And I think that it takes a real person to put the spotlight on other people.
Yeah.
And I appreciate what you are doing, not only for you and your platform, but also the city. And that is why you had to be here, because you are indeed a culture shifter.
Thank you. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. Thank you.
So for people that they need to find you, they want to pitch to you, or they just want to know what is next with you and everything you have going on, share your socials and where they can find you.
You can find me at the Uprising.tv, wherever. That is the website link. You can take you to the website to see what we're doing. That is our Instagram as well. My personal Instagram is Barry.tun. TUN stands for the Uprising Network. And you can find me pretty much there. Just send me a message. I just want to say, if you're pitching an idea, just make sure you have the idea kind of thought out before you pitch it versus, hey, I want to do a podcast. All right. What about it? Like, what are we talking about? What's the name of it? How often you trying to do it? What is it, guest? Is it just you and a host? Like, what we doing? So if you pitching something, it just make it as detailed as possible, so we can go from there. Yes,
it would even be better, and you can attest to this if it's already a fully formed thing. Like, you already had the platform done. You're just asking for maybe a distribution.
Yes,
that would be incredible.
That would be great.
Well, thank you so much, Barry, for being here.
Much. I'm so happy to meet you too. I listen to you on the radio pretty often because y'all play the music from my era. Y'all play the music from my era, so I listen to you very often on the way to work.
Tell me so much more. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
Thank you.